So now let's get into audiences. What are TikTok audiences? How you can create these audiences and how you can use these audiences. So once you go into library, you can select on audience. Here you'll be able to see all the audiences that you have created. So you click on create audience. Now there are two options, custom audience and lookalike audience. Custom audiences, you define what your audience is going to be like. So we'll come to lookalike audience later on. Let's start with custom audience. You click on custom audience. There are four options here. Customer file, where you can upload your customer file and they will match that file with their users on TikTok. So if they find somebody with the same details that you uploaded on TikTok, they'll be able to identify them. Second is engagement. Engagement is where people have engaged with your content. So for example, the ad that you have shown, it will see how many people, like you'll be able to define the people that saw your ad or the people who clicked on your ad. So let's go to engagement. Here is where you select include or impression. Impression is seen your ad, click is clicked your ad. So let's say I select click in the last, let's say 180 days, and which ad group. Now how do you find your ad group? You go here on your ad groups. This is my ad group, this is my ad group ID. So I can copy this here and I can paste it here. So this ad is not live, so it is not letting me select it, but once it's live and it already has audiences that are interacting with it, I'll be able to select it. So once you select the ad group, you can select your audience name here and confirm. This is how you create an engagement audience. App activity is when people have downloaded your app or done any specific actions on your app, like they made a purchase on your app or they bought an add-on on your app, so which will come over here. Then there is website traffic. These are your events: page browse, button click, consultation, download button, complete payment. So complete payment, this means purchased in the last, let's say 180 days. This includes this audience. You can even exclude certain audiences. So this is what it is. Like for example, I can see add to cart in the last 180 days, and exclusion I can do purchases. So complete payment in the last 180 days. Now what does this mean? These are the people who have added a product to their cart but not made a purchase. So I can give here A to cart but no purchase, L 180 days, last 180 days. So I can save it accordingly. This will help me to identify my audience and I can show them these ads. I can show my ads again to them, or can show some different set of ads. Let's say they added a specific product to cart, I can show the same and different ad of the same product, or I can show an ad of a different product to them, because somewhere they were interested, there has been some level of interest to them, that's why they added to cart. Nobody adds for time pass. I mean, there are some people who added just for it because I mean there's some intent towards the purchase. So maybe they did not like the price, maybe they were not happy with the shipping times, maybe they were not, maybe if you are adding a shipping charges or GST later on, they were not happy with it. So there is something that has stopped them from making a purchase. So we can show them different ads, different things, give them a more, give them an additional discount, and probably we can expect them to make a purchase. I'm going to cancel this. Now this was your custom audience. Now there is something called as lookalike audience. Now what is a lookalike audience? In lookalike audience, it defines that you tell them a particular audience and you tell them that you find people who look like my audience. Okay, so in source, let's say I select purchase 30 day, So I'm telling them you use my audience who have bought in the last 30 days. Now you find people who look alike them. Now contain source is delete or contain, which means that do you want to include those audience that bought in the last 30 days, or you don't want to include. So if I'm saying that these are 100 people that have bought in the last 30 days, you find me 1000 people who look like them. Now do you want to include these 100 people in these 1000 people? Then you select contain. Or do you want to remove these 100 people in these 1000 people? You say delete. Ideally I would say delete, because I want to find these 100 people are already made a purchase. So I do not want them to be in my lookalike audience. I want them to be outside my lookalike audience. So I want to know the other 900 people who look like these 100 people, but they have no idea about my brand or made a purchase. Then this is a system, Android or iOS placement. I select TikTok. Mostly select TikTok because that's where your placements are going to be. Location, let's say India. Now audience size is specific. Do you want a specific, balance or broad? So specific is they will be like hmm, so they will be more specific to your audience, and broad is they'll be like the category will be broad. So for example, when I select specific, the size could be, let's say, 1 million. So these are 1 million audiences who are very similar to, like very similar to those who have bought. When I do balance, size could be 2 million. So which means that they are quite similar to your 100 audiences. When I do broad, the size could be 3 million, which says they are a bit similar to your 100 people. So that's what it means. So specific are the most, like, with maximum similarities, and broad is with least similarities, but there is some similarity in your audience. Then you can select your audience name here. So this is how you create a lookalike audience. When So how do you use them now? Ideally you can use these lookalike audiences to show your ads that you have shown earlier. So for example, I'm showing an ad of a specific imitation jewelry piece. Let's say I have about 200 purchases already by advertising on TikTok. So TikTok knows that these 200 people have purchased this piece of jewelry. Now what I do is I create three different audiences: specific, balance and broad. I cannot select all three in one go. I have to select only one. So I select on specific, I name it as purchase last 30-day look alike specific, and I save the audience. So if you see here, lookalike audience, the size will come after the updating is over. Right now it's updating the audience, and this is the audience. Now what can I do with this is I can create an ad group. And now when you see the audience here, I can select purchase 30. Sorry, I need to go on lookalike. Since the audience has already been created, I do not see the audience here, but I can select it here. So I can select this, and I can exclude those who purchased. So it will be shown to only those who have not purchased but who look alike. Now when you are working with lookalike audiences, ideally keep all of these as blank. All of these should be no limit except your location. Select your location and select everything as no limit. Okay, let the AI do the work for you, because you have already found the lookalike ones. All of this is already taken care of, so you don't need to do anything. Just set the budget, your schedule, your bid, and then you are good to go. Next, and you select your ad as you previously created. So that's about it for lookalike for audiences. So that's how you create audiences and you use audiences. Now this is how you use a lookalike audience. And now if we had created an audience which was add to cart but not purchase, similarly you can select that audience over here. Like you create a new ad group which will be a retargeting ad group. In that you select a custom audience which is lookalike, which you select a custom audience which says add to cart but not purchased. So we had not saved that audience, but you will get an option here once you create it. So add to cart but not purchased, and you show the ad to them. Then this is a purchase 30-day audience, wherein these are the people who bought in the last 30 days. So you can show the ad to them as well of some other product. So that's how you play around with lookalike audiences and custom audiences.